we just watched 12 hours of women's podium training, including USA, Russia, AIN, China, you guys, China, France, Brazil, all the teams you want to talk about. Zhang Qingying is 100% going to be the beam world champion. I'm just telling you right now because she hit her routines cold and it was absolutely beautiful. And I was honored to witness it in person. Also, the FIG had a press conference and I got to ask the real questions and we got real answers from the FIG. Yes, I know it's shocking, Spencer. Today is October 18th, 2025, here in Jakarta. And welcome to the #1 gymnastics podcast in the galaxy. I'm Jessica, reporting live in location from Jakarta with the team of fact checker and Deanna Hong, videographer. And I'm here with Spencer from the Balance Beam Situation, analyzing all the data from the States and also making hilarious gifs about the NBC piece on making the team, which I couldn't get anything done because Scott Bregman was sitting next to me laughing hysterically and smacking the desk while reading.
Well, good. I live to serve.
This show is rated PG-14, and our world coverage in Jakarta is brought to you by gymnasticsmedicine.org. Learn more about them at their website, gymnasticsmedicine.org. The show is also brought to you by Club Gym Nerd members like all of you who are watching live and asking us questions live. This is how the meet coverage works. Headlines for everybody, and then the episode continues with the deep dive and bonus secret behind the scene stories. So if you're a Club Gym Nerd member, switch over to your members only feed now. Instructions are in the show notes. Let's start with the headline, Spencer.
Okay, so you mentioned the press conference. You teased the press conference already. So let me know what happened. What do I need to know?
Okay.
So this is the FIG press conference. Who was there? Watanabe, was he there?
Watanabe was there.
Okay.
The president of the organizing committee here and the Indonesian Federation, she was there as well. And then also Buapani, who is the vice president of the FIG, essentially. The full press conference is up on our YouTube channel, along with 60 videos, high quality, beautiful Deanna Hong quality shooting videos. So please go check those out. You can watch the thing in its entirety, which I think is very much worthwhile. The first thing Watanabe started with, for the first time, spectators will be able to see the D scores from AI. Yes, as in Fujitsu D score will not be a secret anymore, and spectators will be able to see it in real time.
Okay, so explain it to me. So this is
Spencer has glitched.
I had a glitch. Like pretend I'm from the year 1850 and explain everything in the world to me. So the judges are going to give a D score, and we'll get that, and then also Fujitsu is going to decide its own D score, so that will also be there, and it'll be like, this is the judges were wrong score next to it. Is that what I'm understanding here?
I have asked follow-up questions,
Okay.
but today was an extremely busy. It was like everyone showed up today, so it was really busy. So I've asked the FIG follow-up questions because I really wanted to know, does this mean we're going to get it like Russian Cup, where they showed the bing, 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 they get the D score and it has a little sound effects, which is my dream.
Yeah, the big part wasn't the sound effects. It was the D score.
It was seeing what people get credit for in their 8 big-ass D skills credit. And so, but I don't know that yet, if it's just going to somehow appear on the screen in the arena or if it's actually going to be on the stream when you guys are able to watch it, which you can watch qualifying starting tomorrow with men's on Eurovision Sport. So, and you can watch it for free in the US. You don't need a VPN. So I will let you know.
I would really love it to be, and you know who would hate it? Judges. If there was like the D score and the actual score it was given, and then like a little like suspenseful thing, and then it was like, but Fujitsu said 5 should have been 5-5. The judges got it wrong.
Oh my God. Oh, the judges are wrong. And then all the audience could go, oh. Yeah. That would be so great.
Okay, so knowing you.
Yes.
I'm assuming the press conference with the FIG did not go by without you asking a question about Israel.
Yes, 100%.
Right.
I did ask.
I've met you before.
Yeah. I did ask the second question of the press conference. The first was about the color scheme, which obviously is very interesting. It is very bright and
Well, because
orange.
they stole my idea for the LA 2028. I would just like to say, copyright me. I already had this idea.
Tropical starburst, orange, your grandparents' kitchen / the 1976 Olympic floor color with neon, which, yeah. I asked the FIG very specifically, and let me give you some background here. Since getting here,
Yeah.
I have noted, which we talked about yesterday extensively on the behind the scenes portion of the show, the security measures that are in place here. I also noted that personally, I felt like there's no way they could have kept Israel safe here. No way. I would say that too if Simone Biles was here. So I have been trying to contact people and talk to them, even if it was on background, to be like, hey, was this part of what went into this decision? But what was amazing today is the FIG offered up that information without me having to ask. Watanabe mentioned that part of the reason that Israel's visas were revoked, because they had visas and then they were revoked, was for
good
safety.
clarification to know.
Yeah. And then I followed up and I was like, what? Can you clarify that? So they had visas, they were taken away for their safety. What do we need to know about that? So this all started with me asking President Watanabe, what measures are being taken to discourage host countries from violating the visa rules in the future? And of course, there's so many things that go into this. Then Vice President Perotti took the question, and his answer was excellent, and explained a lot. So, and that what I mean by that is we don't usually get this level of transparency from the FIG, and honestly, passion about an issue from the FIG. There was like some sweating and some I thought he was gonna take his jacket off, and you could see that the FIG was upset as an institution about what has happened. So here is what he had to say. Thank you. Can I just confirm one thing? Did you say that this was part of the Indonesian decision was to protect the Israeli athletes? I just want to I understand exactly that part of what you said. Is that correct?
Yeah, well.
Sorry, you
guys, we gotta pay for it somehow.
This is the information we got, but I don't know if there is any other political things behind this. But when it comes to gymnastics, let's not mix both. Even though sometimes it's mixed, but we prefer when sport is sport and politics is politics. It's true that there have been some groups here in Indonesia who were not happy to see the delegation of Israel coming and then make threats. So this is something that has been taken into account seriously, and this is the reason why. Because you have to keep in mind that Israel got their visa. Until the 10th of October, they had visa. They were ready to come, and we were very much ready to welcome them to compete. And suddenly,
also with the security.
Yeah, even the Israeli security came here to check and all these things. So we were ready. And suddenly, boom, we had that decision falling on the 10th. And then, when it comes to security, because we mentioned in both the IOC charter, the FIG statutes, that we do have article mentioning that all national federation, NOCs, athletes should be able to compete, no discrimination and all this. Yes, But during the last day, I spent my time on this, so I had time to read again the charter, to read our statutes. There are some articles that should be taken also into account when it comes to cancellation of events. Is it possible, yes or no? That's an article that should be also on the table. And what's about the security of all participants? This is also something we commit to in our statutes to ensure the security of all participants. So, you know, it's a difficult one. And when we look at the last weeks, there were several events that happened. I think it's time for, not only for the FIG, okay, now we are on the lights and everything, and we will have to assume the consequences of this, but it becomes a reality. Looking, and I'm not speaking Israel in general. Let's not focus on them. All of them should be protected and able to participate. But look what happened in the Vuelta in Spain. They had to stop the race. In Italy, 1 week ago or a little bit more, during a football match, after the match disaster. Last night in England, Aston Villa, they prevented some supporter to come in because it would have been a nightmare. So I think it's really time now. Okay, participation of all. We are in favor. We want this. We would love to have our friend from Israel with us, so that the athletes could compete and whatsoever. Again, not mixing politics. I'm not talking about politics. I'm talking about sport. But today it's probably time, and not only for us to think about this problem, but for the entire sport community to say what do we do now when we face problems like this. So it's not an easy one.
You're muted still, Jessica, in case you're trying to communicate with us.
Sorry, he goes on, and honestly, it is worth watching the full press conference.
It's very
because,
interesting, yeah.
Yeah, Sandra, also from Germany, she follows up with some very specific questions after, and one of all the other things that he said is, athlete, he kind of went like, people will compare this to Russia, but he said athletes should not be held responsible for the actions of their governments. And but the takeaway from this for me was like, yeah, they got specific threats, and part of the decision was Indonesia acting on, can we keep everyone safe, not just the Israeli athletes? But isn't it fascinating that Israeli security, which is like Mossad, right? Like, they got into the country and were able to check out the venue and the security ahead of this, which means that, normally that's not possible at all. So they had done, taken measures to allow them to compete. What is your takeaway from that, Spencer?
Well, I mean, the issue of, I think they still have to answer for the take being athletes are not responsible for the actions of their government. But then the Russian athletes were banned outright for a while, and then later some authorized to compete. So they have to
He did talk about that specifically later, yeah.
But yeah,
he also went into specifics about how the Russian athletes were vetted. And he talked about how difficult it was. Yeah, but like, first of all, were you just surprised that we got that much of an answer from the FIG?
I mean, they don't typically give an answer, but they've faced a lot of questions and a lot of scrutiny from the wider media. So they would have been prepared to have an answer. We usually don't expect much of an answer from the FIG, but in this case, like, they at least should have been prepared. And were prepared to have some kind of thought. And especially so much of that answer, I felt like, was him giving the legal justifications and like, these are the statutes you need to look at for this and for what we've done. So it's clearly like there have been a lot of conversations about how we're going to fare in the CAS or anything else for challenges. And that was, telling us basically what look at the other statutes. I think he was referring to the statute that says they would cancel the event or move the event if they can't guarantee the visas for all the eligible participants. And then he's already saying, like, you know, there are other statutes that say this, or other statutes that talk about the safety, and it's like, here's our he's giving the justification, basically.
He's saying the read and read on, which is the most important thing about reading statutes. As a law librarian specifically, with a master's degree in it, who did this for 18 years, I'm telling you, you must keep reading on. But it's interesting because I did talk to some Swiss attorneys who do arbitration specifically and work with CAS. And then I also talked to some American attorneys, some Supreme Court attorneys specifically, and their interpretations of the statutes are very different. Like the American interpretation is like, this is black and white. The FIG violated it. They're supposed to vote to move or cancel. And they can also vote to move or cancel and then but it's also completely infeasible. And Buonpane also went into the fact that he went into the list of like, there's 1,000 something people accredited for this. So to move all of those people, but also ensure the security of those people, then moving them, and can they go, and all of that stuff. It's just not, it's not possible to move a world that fast. But the first thing I thought about he was going to give an example of is, I was like, security. I mean, remember when they had to cancel that Taylor Swift concert in like Switzerland or Austria or something because of a bomb threat or something, a threat, and then all the fans just got in the middle of a town square and sang the entire album. And I was like, anyway.
You were disappointed he gave sports examples instead of Taylor's. You were like, give something that's going to connect with gymnastics fans, like
give
Taylor
something
Swift
relatable.
examples.
The soccers, the bicycling,
like,
or whatever.
Example.
Yeah.
Okay, so I do want to talk about some of what transpired in podium training before we say goodbye to our free listeners. So updates: Eurovision Sport is going to show all of qualification. You can also, it's embedded on the FIG website, or you can go to eurovisionsport.com to find it. At gymnastics.com, we have the World Championship headquarters with all the guides. Fantasy game is live. Lineups lock Sunday at midnight Pacific time. Remember that if you don't fill out the entire thing, it's counted as an invalid lineup. So just make sure that your lineup was like finished, submitted, done, in lineup. We don't want you to accidentally be out, because it's the kind of thing that would happen to Jessica. I didn't fill out one of the spots and I forgot to click finish. Am I eligible to win? No.
So, and if you missed the raffle, we picked the raffle winners yesterday. So you can listen to that and find out if you won. So we just watched day 2 of women's podium training, subs 4 through 10, from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. And that included the US, China, Italy, Brazil, AIN, Hungary, everybody, France. Where should we begin, Spencer?
I would like to begin with the US team, and I would like you to tell me everything. My first question was Joss Robertson, vault, Chung, ankle. What's going on with her? Is she able to do things?
So Josc confirmed exclusively to the Olympic Channel that she has been having just problems with vault, which so many people are having here. We talked about that so much. The same thing happened today. Today, Voinea just did a vault to her side, like so many of the men. It has not been easy to adjust. She has not been able to adjust. She landed short in the training before they went to podium training, and so she just, she's like, I don't know what's going to happen. I just haven't been able to adjust here. And that's not uncommon. A lot of people are having that problem, so we'll have to wait and see. The men's lineups are submitted, they're in now. We'll have to wait and see when the women's are up, if she is going to vault or not. Spencer, what would you do? You're the trident.
I would certainly submit her to the lineup and give her time to adjust, because there's no consequence to having her in the lineup. It's not a team competition.
Right.
Skye's not vaulting, so you have room to either put her in, and then if she doesn't go, like, put her up last among the US people. If she's able to go, she's able to go. If she's not able to go, she's not able to go. But you still have a little bit more time to try to adjust. If it's just an adjusting to the hardness of the vault or something, as people have had trouble with, then maybe a couple more days on it. If that's just the issue, we often will see, when there are problems adjusting to apparatuses, a drastic change between podium training and the competition, as the gymnasts have had a couple more days. But sometimes people just hate this equipment, or whatever equipment happens to be there that year. There will be some people who are like, I hate Spieth bars. I can't do bars on Spieth. which has happened many times. So it may just be like, oh yeah, that just like 2 years from now will be like, remember that Worlds with the concrete vault when I couldn't vault? Yeah, we're past that now.
So the US started on bars.
Yeah.
And there will be an all Florida lineup on bars. That is what happened.
Okay.
I like that, everybody did the events except Skye. Josc went and did all the events except, vaulting. But I like that, it wasn't like only the people that are competing on this event because, you still have time to submit the lineup. You don't want to happen. Everybody should get a chance at podium training. So yeah, at bars, we can watch along this video of Skye. She has fixed for the most part that pack transition to the low bar that she's had trouble with. It's just not smooth exactly, but it looks way better now. So she's catching it and just kipping right out of it, and it's still, it's not ready to connect into a stalter,
So then disqualified.
transition.
If I know anything about bars, if you don't directly connect it into a Van Leeuwen, you are disqualified.
Exactly. But that's okay because she could still do very well with this routine here and she will get there.
And if
Jenny
you are able to visually see the difference between a chalked bar and the mat, you might make a final.
Yeah.
That's what I've learned so far.
This, I have so much to tell you about the chalk, the situation with the mats. I finally figured out what's going on with the mats. But anyway, Jenny from Florida is here. So she's both the 2 Florida out of 3 Florida coaches are here.
4 Florida coaches.
Oh, I forget now.
I don't accept this Jeremy Miranda erasure that's happening here.
They did the right thing and hired a full-time choreographer like UCLA has too, and that is the only correct thing to do with your 4th coach. Everybody knows that. So Skye did really well. Like she did not have a lot of problems with this routine. She was probably the most consistent with bars. Second routine was a total hit. Dulcy had a lot of problems with bars.
Okay.
She basically tried multiple routines, fell on like 3 routines on different skills, but her form was beautiful. And then on the 4th try, she made her full routine and hit. So it wasn't the most beautiful routine, but she did it. And like part of it was just like she's in shape, her skills look good. It's not like she's ready, her fitness is ready for this. I just like she wants it so bad that she gets into her head. Like that is my interpretation of what happens with her. Because then she went to beam and hit the most perfect beam routine I've ever seen her do. And I was like, holy shit, she's gonna get into the beam final.
It's like you saw some anger beam.
Yes. Which, is our favorite kind.
Yeah.
Leanne also had a little bit of problems on bars and beam. But she also did a bahard wash. This was the most beautiful bahard wash I've ever seen her do, the full twisting pack. It was perfectly in line. No, you know how everybody's a little wonky on a bahard wash. They're a little
almost everybody.
Right. Like it was so good and straight on. It was really nice to watch. So yeah, the second routine she did real well. If you're a visual listener, we are watching Dulcy's. I think this is the routine that she hit perfectly and was fantastic. I was just blown away by that routine. So more angry beam from Dulcy is what we need.
You ignored, I think, the most important thing, which was that Leanne added a different mount sequence to make her beam routine more efficient.
Yes.
Which, we've been talking about how she has 10 skills of C or higher in this routine, and you can only count 8. So we were like, how do we tighten this up? And if she's doing switch mount directly to switch half straddle, that eliminates a sequence, at least. Because she was doing switch mount and then later doing switch to switch half. This is the same thing Simone did with her beam routine, where she would do switch mount, and if she could connect it directly to switch half, she was like, got it. And then if she wobbled on the switch mount, then she would do switch to switch half as a backup.
Yep. I'm very pleased about this. She had like some wobbles, she had some problems on beam, but in general, like, she has a brevet coach. So she's going to know. And she always tells us like, yeah, I'm doing stuff. I'm seeing what I'm going to fix in my routine. And so now she has it together and it's what she needs. So what else want to talk about? Oh, Skye Blakely, what did they do with that Achilles? They added more springs in it. Her handspring front
to her Achilles. She has
Yes.
bionic Achilles.
Yes. It's like she always has had like a great Arabian, a great a full, a good
Mhm.
like handspring front. It's so huge. Like she did a handspring front. I was like, oh my God, is she gonna bust out a pike out of that? It was so good. She had a little like one or two little wobbles on her beam, but it was really nice in general. Leanne had a funny fall where she fell on her switch side. Her foot just like was on the side of the beam and she just immediately was like, on your butt and off the beam. Floor, Joss had a little bit of trouble with the floor. The floor was not her best friend today. It just was, and this was so many people. Like I was watching Golgota, who looks amazing from Romania, like so good. She just could not do her rebound passes. And it was like watching her, like she punched the floor. Like she is so strong. I watched her beam. I was like, my God,
This is
bionic.
Golgota you're talking about right now?
Yeah,
Okay,
Golgota.
yeah.
So good. I was like, she does not have jumping problems. It's amazing, her beam. And then she goes to the floor and was like, she'd punch and nothing would happen. It was like she just did things from muscle memory and sheer will, Romanian pain of a nation will. And it took her a while till she could actually do her passes. And I think part of this was also with Joss, just like punching the floor was like not working really well for her today. Like her Moors was kind of wonky and low. She didn't get to leap all the way around. Should have fallen a double pike. But I think it's just, some people also, it's like you're compensating for the hardness of the floor. And so then, you're overcooking a double pike because something else was, so yeah.
So you're saying that's a more likely explanation than Joss Robertson doesn't have enough power to do a double pike? It's probably not that. That's probably not the reason. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. That's it.
I
Oh,
just
yeah.
need
I
this
think
to not be like a Sai Miyakawa situation where, remember how she would do like perfect, amazing, most difficult in the world floor routines domestically and then get to Worlds and be like, yeah, I can't do it on this floor.
yes. And I was just like, you're supposed to be a world champion on the floor. Yeah. So overall, I think the US was like had some kinks to work out, but Skye looked the most confident. And Dulcy looked the most confident on beam. I was like, oh, just be this pissed every time. This is all we need.
Mhm.
And Leanne, I'm like, she'll figure out in the meet like she always does. I'm not worried about it.
So, where on a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being Simone's best meet ever and 0 being like 97 Worlds, where is the US team right now?
Other people will have to have falls. The best gymnasts will have to have falls for them to medal.
On anything?
I mean, if everybody hits their D, their hardest D, and hits like bars no more,
Yeah.
and China, it's like, yeah, it's not looking great. Yeah, I don't see any gold medals in anyone's future.
Okay.
From the US.
What were your thoughts on Leanne's vault and the hands situation?
Okay, there was other things going on at the time and I missed her. Yes. So I apologize that I have missed that, but it's Leanne, so I expect her to be perfect in the meet because that's Leanne Wong.
The question is, if you're for our listeners, the question is she going to get the 2-point deduction for not showing support with her second hand on her chung? She's touching, she's making contact, but the videos from podium training are one of with a whisper of a brush with the second hand. So we're keeping an eye on that. That's going to be very interesting on qualification day to see. Is there suddenly a 2-point deduction on Leanne's chung that no one was expecting in like a Kara Aker beam 2019 situation, or a Jordan Weber beam 2012 situation where it's like this deduction was there?
Yeah.
Or they're just going to be like, you made contact, we're good.
Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, I also have other questions about vault because we had a vault today that landed at totally sideways, like facing the judges. And I was like, you are not allowed to get credit for that anymore in vault. It is.
Well, also, so this was Voinea, you were saying?
No, it was China 26 K-pop obsession. China's
Deng Yalan.
Zhang Qingying. Yeah.
K-pop
you guys-
obsession does not help me. I don't know people's lives.
I
I know
tried
your
to
routines,
interview
I don't
her
know your life.
about this, but yeah, which her vaults look great. She didn't have a problem figuring out the vault. Like she was one that was like, "Oh, make it harder. I'll land all these bitches."
Add
Yeah.
more concrete.
Yeah, but one of them she landed totally sideways, and I was like, "A, you cannot land sideways in a vault. They banned those, and also if you don't make it all the way around, you don't get credit anymore." So
One would
she ended
hope.
up making it in the end, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I have so much to tell you guys about. There's a whole Chinese mat situation.
Oh my god,
There
we're gonna
was
talk for like 9 hours today.
There was an illegal mat. There was, oh my God, I have so much to tell you guys about. And Perotti and Melnikova, which she did do her chung with a bump, but not that much of a bump. Like, I think she's going to do it. But she could not make her beam routine. But, Brazil had a day. Like,
Okay.
they'll probably be fine, but I don't know what was going on, but, their leotard was genius, though. Judge Barbosa designed it. It is basically a soccer jersey leotard. So it is in the inspiration of the soccer in Brazil and
Mhm.
Marta and Pele and someone named Zico, and but it's has to do with Nadia and their inspiration, like in and out of the of gymnastics. So it brought together like Brazil loves soccer and also gymnastics. Here we made a Leo out of it,
Okay.
and it looked really good on them. But so I have tons of stories to tell you guys, but I did horrifyingly embarrass myself, and also reading the
Why did it
autobiography
take this long?
of Malcolm X has totally paid off here, you guys. And Indonesian tampons and a hilarious beam fall. I have to tell you about those. But those are coming for the Club Gym Nerd members who paid for our trip here. So this is where our conversation continues for them. We have 6 more days of live podcasts from this World Championships in Jakarta for club members. You can join live and ask us questions. You get lots of other benefits from joining Club Gym Nerd. And if you can't afford, we know that like times are tough, especially in the US right now. If you can't afford a membership to Club Gym Nerd right now and you need help to get it, we have amazing members of your community, the Gym Nerds here. They have donated scholarships for you. So if you're not in a position to purchase a membership, you can go to our forum, then go to show stuff, then go Gymnastics scholarships. And it is on a first come, first serve basis. And you can apply for a scholarship. There have been so many people have donated to these scholarships now that we are matching them. So it's just first come, first serve your own list. We won't tell anybody. We'll keep your information private. And if you would also like to sponsor a scholarship like this, you can email editor@gymnastic.com. And thank you so much to all of you who have donated. So if you're not a member yet, you can join at gymnastic.com. And otherwise, we will see you after the first day of women's qualifying. I'm so excited to see what happens, you guys.